What's up, all you beautiful people? Next on the docket is Avenged Sevenfold's City of Evil. This album was the album that got me into Avenged Sevenfold when I was watching it on Much Music and I saw Sin do his thing and I was like, what is this metal punkness? And then I heard M Shadows and I was like, this band's right up my alley. And for those of you who haven't tuned into these reviews yet, I'm essentially going to be doing a walkthrough on this album and I might just spend a bit more time on the vocals because I am a vocalist and I do love Matt's vocals. And in case you missed it, I did do Sounding the Seventh Trumpet and Waking the Fallen. And in the event that you don't like my face, at least like this video and subscribe to the fucking channel. Alright, so let's get into this madness. First up, Beast and the Harlot. I dig how they let that breath in. Heck of a scream, too. I dig how they started it off with this two-part intro because there was that part and then there's this part. Such a sweet riff. And then M Shadows coming in with the high fry scream. Oh yeah, that's so good. But then he goes higher. And then we slam it down with the first verse. So right off the bat with these vocals, there are tons of layers going on, and this happens throughout the entire album. Much different from the previous two albums. And he does this a lot on all the other Avenged Sevenfold albums too. Now, for those who followed Avenged Sevenfold prior to this album, this must have been a real eye-opener because I'm sure a lot of the fans were expecting to have more of this metal vibe to it, but they really intertwined punk and metal nicely on this album. But even the previous albums, even though they have a lot of heavy sections, there's still that punk influence. Like, who else was doing this stuff at the time? That's why these guys are the best at what they do. And again, a lot of vocal layers in this chorus. And I dig how they went from this major feel to a minor. And as I said in my last review, typical Avenged Sevenfold not following the typical song structure. Traditionally, as you know, bands would just go into the next verse, but nope, they go right into a fucking solo. Sin highlighting his skills just north of 2 minutes into the first song. Oh, I love that harmony. Again, I can't stress it enough how much I love how Avenged Sevenfold just diverge from the typical status quo and they do their own thing. Now, I don't know if you guys got the same vibe, but this album to me feels like a movie just in an audible form. Because I feel like this album tells a story in the sequential order in which they structured the songs. Now, I wouldn't be surprised if Shadows sang this whole chorus again. I don't think there's copy and paste, and if there is, very minimal. I love this next part, the rev just shredding. So good. Every member in this band has a highlighted moment in this song. Such a kick-ass bridge. Again, tons of vocal layers. You're gonna hear me saying that a lot as we go through these songs. And it wouldn't be Avenged Sevenfold unless they pull a fast one on you. Key change! Absolute banger right out of the gate and really sucking in the audience and giving them a taste on what's to come. Next up, Burn It Down. Wait for it. Tonk 101. Oh, what do you know? He's not dubbing his voice here. The Rev's drumming is so damn good. I love this pre-chorus. That's pretty high. His control is phenomenal. I feel like Matt's doing a combination of both chest and head voice. Yeah! Alright, there are a lot more tastier vocal sections on this album, but let's just take a moment to appreciate how much Matt has improved since Waking the Fallen. Now, I don't know if between Waking the Fallen and City of Evil he had the vocal surgery. I think he did, but I recall there was an interview with one of their old producers, but he was saying when he was working with Shadows on Waking the Fallen, he was a great singer, but he wasn't the best singer he ever worked with. But when he was working with Matt on City of Evil, he was the best singer he ever worked with. Love this breakdown. These Sonic the Hedgehog vocals I freaking love. So good. So we get into the chorus again, but the chorus changes quite nicely. And again, typical Avenged Sevenfold, have to do something different. Right here. And this bridge, give me a second while I melt. These guys really take you for a ride, not only from a song structure perspective, but how they dip in and out of major and minor. Oh, shred alert, shred, 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 shred alert. And again, if this was any other band, they would end it right after this. Okay, song's done. Nope, this outro is so dope. It's like a whole other song. Next on the list, Blinded in Chains. You can tell just from this intro, it's gonna go hard as f***. Oh yeah. Love this part. Freaking love this part. Wait for it. Shred! If an energy drink was in an audible format, that would be it. Okay, so just a single vocal, no dub here too. I don't know what he's saying, but it's really cool how Matt's doing a rap in the right ear and then he's just doing the traditional vocal line basically in the center, but you could tell it's panned off to the left a little bit. And this chorus, and they actually brought the song back on their 2024 tour, which is pretty sweet. They actually did it in Toronto. They casted and they lured me into that chorus. And these harmonies. And again, Avenged Sevenfold doing Avenged Sevenfold things. Instead of going into the chorus, we're going to go into a pre-chorus. A lot of background vocal going on there too. Now we're going to change up the chorus. So good. One thing I dig is how they kept the main vocals in the center, because obviously there's the main vocal and then there's the backup vocal that comes in underneath the main vocal. Could have panned it, but nope, left in the center. Sounds great. This next section with the punk beat and him singing. And here we go again. We're going to change up the vibe a little bit. A lot of people may not notice this, but Matt's doing a lot of stuff in the background as well. Listen to the left and the right ears. I wouldn't be surprised if he was doing like a song a day. There's so much going on vocally. The rev going beast mode. And again, anyone else would just end the song. But nope, not Avenged Sevenfold. We got a whole new section. Really cool vocals. Sounds like he's really opening up his throat here. And then they open it up again. Slammin' tune. That song is a movie in and around itself. And next, the one I'm most excited for, and the one song that got me into Avenged Sevenfold, Backcountry. Great way to kick off that song with a fry scream. Swiss Army triplet action. Those circusy Avenged Sevenfold guitars are so good in this verse. Yeah, I love the twisted vibe it gives off. And here we go with one of the most banging Avenged Sevenfold choruses we have to date. And that drumming too, just so original, and it complements everything so well. Now diving into the second verse, they go right into it. I love how Matt goes higher here. Now this is a chorus that just gets imprinted into your memory bank for the rest of time. Now this next section, just such clever songwriting. Such a great creative decision to do this. Doing stuff like this, again, and I've said this in other videos before, but stuff like this is what makes Avenged Sevenfold. And then you bring back a verse. Like, that's so cool. I love how the drums change there too. He does a double Swiss Army triplet in that section. And here it comes, one of the most, if not the most, iconic Avenged Sevenfold solo. Absolute speed demon of a chromatic scale. That section, that was the section that lured me into Avenged Sevenfold. That very section. Like, what is this? You got like metal, you got like punk. Who else is doing this besides Avenged Sevenfold? Nobody. So much going on here. Such a ride. Now Matt's about to unlock some range. Really neat how they bring back this section in the end. But of course, they got to do something different. Let's pick it up. What a banger of a song. I'm going to go on a hunch here and say all of you must have Backcountry in your top 5 favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs. All right, diving into Trashed and Scattered. All right, song's done. We have another song that's another audible version of an energy drink. Those are some tough vocals there. Oh my gosh. It would be so cool if they can fit this song in their 2024 set list. Such a twisted pre-chorus. And he's able to keep that rasp and control with the vibrato so flawlessly. Now, you want to talk about range? Oh, damn. What a progression from Waking the Fallen. One of my favorite Avenged Sevenfold verses ever. Ooh. Now, I don't doubt it for a second, but I really do think Matt can pull off this song in 2024. If you listen to some of the most recent stuff he does live, he can still go into the upper register, no problem, and he still has a lot of control and still has a lot of that rasp. And of course, again, for the quadrillionth time, Avenged Sevenfold doing Avenged Sevenfold things. Here we go. The momentum in this song, it's like driving a Shelby GT500 for nearly 6 minutes in 6th gear. Oh, range alert! Again, I'm a vocalist, so I'm just a sucker for that stuff. And then they change it up here, which sounds so cool. This part's so sick. Oh, they could have totally added a huh. Let's add it in. Huh. In all seriousness, though, this section is so sweet. We got another vocal range alert. And he does a vibrato there too. He put in so many hours to get where he was on this album. What a frickin' ride that was. Track number 6. You all know this one. I actually covered this song, well, the LBC version right here. This is another one of their most popular songs, and it's another one of my favorite songs. Now, this is interesting. The first verse has a lot of vocal layers going on. I think it sounds great. However, I think Matt could have done an equally great job if he just kept it a single vocal. That guitar part just ties it in so well. Now, this part would have been cool, just a single vocal. I love the arrangement of instruments. You have an acoustic guitar, you have electric with very subtle gain, the drums aren't heavy, the bass isn't going crazy, it's chilled, it's relaxed, and it really draws you in. Vision burn, I feel my mouth. And this iconic chorus. Going back on my earlier point about the vocals having multiple layers in the verse, it actually does sound pretty cool because the chorus actually has a lot of layers going on. It's a bit more heavier, a bit more aggressive. And then the verse sounds like it just has a single vocal, and then Matt has the octave up, but he's doing it falsetto. I love the electric guitar in the left here and then the acoustic in the right. Has great dynamics. Yeah, see, this chorus really opens up vocally. Now the chorus, he's not doing that falsetto. He actually sings it, and that's high. Then we have one of Sin's most memorable solos. So good. Now we're gonna hit vocal range town. I love his rasp. I just love the control. Without much practice and working with one of the greatest vocal coaches at the time, Ron Anderson, you're gonna have this caliber of singing. Now again, this is really neat. Instead of just ending it with the chorus, they go into another section. Completely different than the rest. The background vocal. I love these sweeps in the right ear. These guys know how to write a heck of a ballad in their genre, and they do a heck of a performance live as well. Truly a song that's held right here. Here we go. 7th song, Sidewinder. This song has a ton of dynamics vocally. Not just vocally too, I mean the song in general is just dynamically diverse. I love how they did that. They had a bit of piano. Oh, that drum part by the Rev is so cool. Right here. I love that. And again, Avenged Sevenfold doing Avenged Sevenfold things. Of course. Sounds so good. I love how they dip into that major feel here. And now they dip out of it. Oh, guys, watch Shadow's range here. Just a walk in the park for him. Now, I feel like this part has Waking the Fallen vibes. Ooh, that was a nice change, but it's gonna change again. Wait for it. I love this. Totally Waking the Fallen vibes. And how cool is this next part? And then the outro here with this Latin vibe is just so golden. I think this is my favorite part in the whole song. Matt does a great soft raspy vocal too. And guys, you're gonna have to correct me if I'm wrong here, but I'm pretty sure this section here is Sin's dad. And I think this part is Sin. That sounds like Sin, come on. And I remember as a kid listening to this part, I loved how it goes back and forth with the acoustics. So that's pretty much it for that one, but it's such a banger and just so creative. I mean, again, it's just dynamically diverse. Let's start off the next tune here with the Wicked End. We got some dirty bass action happening. I love the twistedness here. And then the guitars do it, which is really cool. Now this song, Matt just belts it in the bridge. I'm pretty sure it's the bridge, but we'll get there. Whoa, that was cool. That first verse is such a powerhouse. Now this is another song that takes you for a ride. Listen to this transition. That twisted guitar sound is what also gives Avenged Sevenfold that stamp too. Ah, man, this vocal line. Oh. Guys, shit's about to get real right here. That is so freaking clean. This part right here, if I was going to enter the Twilight Zone, this would be the section of a song that would be playing. This is so awesome. How they dip in and out. What musical geniuses to do stuff like this. This section can highlight so many different emotions. All right, are you guys ready? Shadows is about to rip it. Wait for it. Here. Oh, man. That's all I got. I don't know what to say. I love how they still have the orchestral here. Absolutely astounding. This part's so dirty. What a friggin' tune. That's another tune that's its own movie, essentially. Initially, I said this album was like a movie, but each song feels like its own movie. Give me a moment to stretch. Can you tell I'm transitioning into M Shadows? Slowly. Strength of the World. This one's a long one. It's just over 9 minutes long. The intro for this song is so sweet. It has this cool Wild West vibe, like right here. So Wild West. Avenged Sevenfold really knows how to take your ears for a ride. And then it starts to pick up. That was a bit of a journey. Now the vocals come in. Classic Matt doing a main vocal then an octave. It's over, she's finished. Now this chorus, it's interesting. Really great song, but a little too nasally vocally for my taste. Right here. And not to take away from Matt, what I think he does is pretty unique because it sounds like he's putting on a certain persona in not only each song, but certain segments of each song. I love the way he sings here. Matt has some spicy rasp on this verse. And again, we get this spicy change. That part's so cool. And then we're about to enter my favorite part in the song. Talk about throwing you off guard. I totally forgot about this. Again, they're just opening different doors and really showing you the capabilities of what you can implement in a song. I love this next part with the vocals and the guitar. They sound so good together. Actually, I think this part's my favorite part because it just makes you wanna... Another thing I love about this song is that it starts off with orchestral instruments and then it ends with orchestral instruments. This is so cool. I love how they keep the drums going and the orchestral's just more in the front, but everything else is in the back. Overall, what a trip. It's still one of my least favorite Avenged Sevenfold songs, but nonetheless, it's still a fantastic song. All right, second last one, Betrayed. And what I love is how they come in on what it seems to be the chorus here. So good. Now going through this, it does sound like Matt has some single vocal lines and then obviously he'll add the dub or he'll add the octave or harmonies when it calls for it. I feel it burn inside. I dig the way the mix sounds in this section and the utilization of the compression as well. Took away the only thing I love. Especially on the vocals. The guitars sound great, but the vocals just has a crispiness to it. Like this vocal line here. And then we kick off the second verse. But then they open the f*** up here. And then bringing back the chorus. Now we're going into this bridge section. Now Matt's gonna open up them pipes. Absolutely fantastic. Again, I just have to plug that transformation. It's just too big to ignore how he went from here to here. And other than the chorus, this is my other favorite part in the song. This is why I think Avenged Sevenfold doesn't copy and paste the vocals, because you can tell little subtle nuances within his voice. Right here, when he kicks off the chorus, his vocals sound a bit different. It sounds a bit more raspier. And then this outro! I love that. Another tune that's just dynamically tasteful. All right, all right, all right. We have reached the last song, M.I.A. These guitars, just those alone are enough to reel you in. Then we have some soft vocals. Staring at the carnage, praying that... And you know, with these guitars in the back, they're gonna hit hard. I love that, very Iron Maiden. And now we get some isolated shadows. The fighting rages on it now. Like, his control is just incredible. That's interesting how he manages to go from there and then he just goes higher. Let's just take a listen to that again. Great lyrics too. Another thing about Avenged Sevenfold is that they are great lyricists. And another thing to mention too is that M.I.A. is a great last song. The way the song starts and to the way the song progresses to the way the song ends, it fits right at the end. And I'm so happy they brought this part in and they just made it huge. But we're going to vocal range town again. Oh, yeah. That sounds so good. The control is incredible. Oh, round 2. And then we're going into this euphoric section. Something else to mention is that Sin's guitar tone is just so wet. And we totally get some Iron Maiden vibes here. But it's their own thing. And this ending with the group vocals is so cool. And I love how the guitar follows a vocal melody here. And then bringing in the intro on the outro. Okay, Matt's vocals here are really interesting. Let's take a listen to them. Walk the city lonely, memories that are... So this part here Matt does is super fascinating. He uses his head voice from the sounds of it and just opens up his throat a lot. Was so young. Almost in a sense like he's yawning. That's what I was talking about Matt putting on a different persona in different sections of each song. He doesn't do this type of voice in any other section or any other song, but this one in this particular section. And then we end very subtly with this guitar. There we have it. City of Evil, one of my favorite Avenged Sevenfold albums. Drop a comment below. I want to know, what are your top 3 favorite songs off City of Evil? And to take it a step further, let me know what your top 3 favorite Avenged Sevenfold albums are. And if you made it this far, thank you very much for sticking around and really appreciate you supporting my channel. Please like the video for the algorithm, and if you like what I'm doing, subscribe to the channel. If you want to be part of my community, join my Discord below. And again, I don't know how to end these videos, so